Hey, Simtoon's log, 12th of July 2022. First of all, I would like to apologize for not publishing a log yesterday because it was kind of a rough day for me and I just didn't feel like talking to pretty much anyone and that I would have nothing to say, so I just didn't, it would be a waste. So today, on the other hand, there's much to talk about because I've just published another testing build of Rackjacker, so the testers can engage in testing and have more things to test. Also, there are some adjustments, regarding Rackjacker, some stability adjustments, performance tweaks, improvements, level design improvements, the scaling a bit improved, many little things in regards to performance and level design. And also I've been thinking about actually streaming these logs and not recording them because I wanted to do them and I still want to do them on a daily basis, but then it's just kind of tiring to have to edit the audio each time and then render it out, publish it to Spotify, and then open DaVinci and create a timeline, put the audio on, and then put a static image on the video timeline, and then render that out and upload it to YouTube. And it would be much easier to just stream it and that's it. However, I don't have a solution for Spotify if I were to do that, so I would somehow have to automate that. I could maybe use an open source sound library, something like FFmpeg, to kind of take the video file, pull the audio out and just render it as an audio file, and then I could just take that and upload it. That takes literally 10 seconds to upload it, so I would just throw it there. That could work, but that would take some time, and that's what I'm trying to save, time. So, but of course the automation would save time long term, definitely. It would definitely save time in comparison to manually doing this rendering, both of the audio and then audio plus the static image, so technically a video each day. So I think that it would be a good investment of time, but we'll see about that. And then initially I was tired today. When I woke up, I was just in my bed and I was like, I was just lying there and I was like, oh, is it 2 p.m. already? Alright, I think it was 1 p.m. or so, on 1:20 or something like that. And I was like, no, I'm gonna wake up, and I slept for 6 hours. But yeah, I did wake up, made some coffee. One of the things that I look forward to when I wake up is just making coffee, because it's funny because when I started drinking caffeine, I started with coffee, and then there were times where I didn't have coffee or it was too expensive, even though long term it wasn't, but I didn't know that back then, and I started buying energy drinks. And I didn't do that for long. I did it for 2 months or so and then switched back to coffee again. But I started at a relatively young age with caffeine at 16, probably 16. So relatively early. I mean, there are of course people who started, 12 with drinking coffee and caffeine in general. I started at 16. And I kind of switched with energy drinks and then back and then kind of back again. And recently, for the past 3 months or so, 3 months, I've been drinking either a Starbucks triple espresso can of triple espresso amount of caffeine in a can that was 330 milliliters, and I had that, or an energy drink. But then I obviously know that it contains a shitload of sugar and who knows what else, and it's not healthy at all. So I switched back to coffee, and it needs some getting used to after those couple of months, but it's not gonna take long, maybe a week or so. But the feeling when you wake up and you already mentally subconsciously consider the caffeinated drink as your fuel for the day. So you don't want to do anything else before that. So you just wake up and you try to get to it as soon as possible, and then you can start your day, because it's kind of like, I consider it like, might sound weird, but like a boot up process for you, even though I'm already awake but not fully. So it might not be technically representative of a boot up process, but I consider it that, like, my mind kind of like starts up, and I can begin my day. And when I get up, so I make coffee, and I don't even want to talk to anyone before that, because like, I'm tired and I don't want to think about anything, and like, I'm still half asleep, and you probably know the feeling. So I just make coffee, drink it, and then like, I usually, like, for me it like kicks in after like 20 minutes. It doesn't take too long at all. People say that like it takes like 45 minutes to an hour for it to fully kick in, but from my personal experience that I literally observed on me, on myself, it took like 20-25 minutes, and then I could already feel it. So like, after that period, I'm like, okay, we can start the day, I can start working or whatever is on my schedule for that day, and I just start with that. And so yeah, a couple of days ago I switched back to coffee, luckily, and I just make it with milk, no sugar, no bullshit like that. Just milk, like a full mug that is 330 milliliters, and that's actually 11 ounces. And I make that, and then just add a little bit of milk, but it usually just doesn't fit into the mug, so I sip like an ounce of the content of the mug, and then add the milk, mix it, and then drink it that way. But sometimes it happens that I have more coffee than I have capacity for in my mug. So then I just put the milk in, drink a little, and then when the mug is at like 3/4 of its capacity, I just put the remaining coffee in and drink it. And yeah, that works for me. And like, I don't need to put the sugar in, even though like I love sweets and all sorts of sugary foods and stuff that is definitely not healthy. For some reason I just don't like coffee with sugar. I mean, it's probably because I didn't start drinking it with sugar, so I kind of like don't feel that I need to have sugar in my coffee. But I mean, I just don't feel the need for it. Milk, yes, definitely, because without milk, I used to drink coffee without milk from a high quality coffee brewer. That was delicious. I loved that. But espresso is usually not so tasty to me, at least. So I just prefer it with milk. But then again, when I'm at a coffee shop, sometimes when that happens, or when I am somewhere that there's a coffee brewer that supports cappuccinos, then I make myself or request a cappuccino, which I also like because there's milk there and it tastes delicious. But usually just espresso with milk, and that's what I prefer. And that kickstarts my day, and then I'm good to go. And then just the curve goes up, like your caffeine curve goes up, and then just gradually down, and then at like it depends, but then at midnight or so I'm just like tired. Sometimes even sooner, much sooner, sometimes later, and sometimes I'm like, it's like 4 a.m. I'm coding or designing or whatever, and then I'm just like, oh, it's 4 a.m. What the fuck? Like, it's already 4 a.m. I don't like, I wouldn't know if I hadn't looked at the watch, so like I would have no idea. I just don't feel it sometimes, but sometimes at like 5 p.m. I'm totally out. So it very much depends, even when I drink the same amount of caffeine. So yeah, and I also keep my caffeine intake under like considerably under the safe limits for an adult male. So like a daily caffeine limit for an adult male is about 400 milligrams of caffeine, and I usually drink 200 or 150 at most. I don't cross that, so I'm trying to keep it healthy within those bounds. And yeah, so it rarely happens that I cross even 200 when I have an additional coffee, but usually just that double espresso in the morning, and that's enough for me. So yeah, anyway, it's already 12 minutes. So tomorrow, further level design work, some retexturing, some polishing, and as I mentioned in the previous logs, it's already coming to an end. Level design is going to be finished, and we're going to move on to the next dev stream, dev log, and game mechanics and mission mechanics, which is the part of game mechanics, but like the entire logic that will control the flow of missions and subtasks. So basically, like a mission is a task, and that task has subtasks that you need to accomplish in order to finish the master task. So that's gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of coding. Like, I'm a coder mainly, so like level design, like I really love designing levels and worlds because I have like a big imagination and just want to build worlds. But I love coding more, so I'm looking forward to coding. And like C++ is my top language and my primary language, so definitely looking forward to that. Anyway, see you tomorrow and have a nice one. Bye.